Let's continue with problem 13-7. The first question, we haven't discussed this last time, correct? Let's try to see this through since this is just 4 years. The first question here is, how much the total financial revenue? And again, this is just computed by comparing your gross receivable and your net receivable. And your net receivable would ordinarily be your cost of the asset or the present value of your lease payments. Okay, and what do we have here in this problem? Are we given with the cost? Yes, the cost is 1,550,000. And what are the lease payments that we will receive? We will receive payments of 500,000 per year, payable at the end of each year over a 4-year period of the lease. The title of the equipment remains in the hands of Alpha, the lessor, at the end of the lease term, although only nominal residual value is expected. The implicit interest rate is 11%. So we know that our total receivable would be 500 times 4, that will give you 2 million. And then your present value would be 1,550,000, or your cost is 1,550,000. The total financial revenue here would be 450,000. And then what amount should be reported as interest income? 2024, the first year. And this is not a problem because the payment is not in advance. The first payment is at the end of the year. So that means the entire 1,550,000 would earn interest. Okay. Again, the 11% implicit rate here is the interest rate that would make the present value of your 500,000 equal to 1,550,000. That's basically how we determine your implicit interest rate. Okay. So 1,550,000 times 11% will give you how much, class? 100 for a while. Okay, so again, the initial balance is 1,550,000. And then the payment would be, the first payment would be 500,000. Considering that this is ordinary annuity, the entire 1,550,000 will earn interest. So multiply 1,550,000 by 11%. Our interest income for the first year would be 170,500. Okay, and what's the next question? What is the carrying amount of the lease receivable on December 31, 2024? If the payment that we'll receive on December 31, 2024 is 500,000, and we know that a portion of it is for the payment of interest earned, so you deduct the interest earned of 170,500 from 500,000, we'll have a difference of 329,500. And this is the amount that will be deducted from our net lease receivable of 1,550,000. Okay, if you're asked for the carrying amount, class, that is the same as being asked for the net lease receivable. So our answer here would simply be 1,220,500. Okay, and the next question here is, what is the carrying amount of the current portion of the lease receivable on December 31, 2024. In the other discussions, class, I think in the Wigand discussion, we mentioned that whatever is the principal portion that is collectible in the next 12 months would form part of your current asset or liability. In this case, your current receivable. So you will have to prepare the amortization schedule for the second year. The balance after the first year was 1,220,500. If you receive the payment on December 31 of the second year, how much of the payment will go to the interest? First, you determine the interest. How much do you think would be the interest income for year 2, class? So 134,255. How did we get 134,255? By multiplying the previous balance of 1,220,500 by 11%. Okay, and what do we do with the 134,255? We deduct it from the payment of 500,000 to determine the amount that will be deducted from your principal. And this amount is basically the amount that we would receive or realize in 12 months from the end of the first year. So the answer for number 4 would already be 365,745. With that, if we deduct that from the previous balance of 1,220,500, we would get 854,755. If you're asked for the net lease receivable on December 31, 2025, our answer would be 854,755. By the way, we've determined the total lease revenue over the lease term to be how much, class? Was it the, how much was it? Was it the 450? The answer to the number 1, class? 450. Because I want us to answer number 3 by using our alternative solution. What was our alternative solution, class? Your gross receivable minus your unearned interest income. By the end of the first year, at the commencement date, our gross receivable was 2 million. By the end of the first year, our gross receivable would be so for the end of the first year, our gross lease receivable would be instead of 2 million, it will now just be 1,500,000. Okay, and then how much will be the balance of our how much would be the balance of our, how much was the interest income, class, in the first year? Was it 1,7,500? So you deduct the initial unearned interest income was 450. Then we have earned 170,500. That means how much is the remaining unearned interest income, class? 279,500. Okay, so that will give us our net lease receivable of 1,220,500. We've computed the balance as of the second year to be 854,755. Let's use our alternative solution class. Start with gross lease receivable. How much is your gross lease receivable? From 1,500,000, it will now just be 1 million. Okay, and then how much would be our interest income class? 134,255. So from the unearned interest income last year of 279,500, if we have earned 134,255, how much will that give us? 145,245. So if we deduct that from 1 million, our net lease receivable would be 854,755. Let's continue to the third year class. By preparing your amortization schedule, let's continue with the alternative solution. How much would be your gross receivable after the third year class? It would be 500,000. And how much would be your interest income for year 3? What do you do? How do you compute for the interest income? The previous balance of 854,755 multiplied by 11%, that will give you how much? 94,023. Then deduct that from the previous balance of your unearned interest receivable of 145,245. The difference would be 51,222. Okay, so and what would be the difference between 500,000 and 51,222? That would be 448,778. Okay, but what do I want you to do in the last year class? Whatever is the remaining unearned interest income prior to the last year, that would be your interest income for the last year, so that you'll be able to fully eliminate or close out the balance of your unearned interest income. If you will be asked how much should you report as interest income on the fourth year, do not just multiply 448,778 by 11%. Okay, just clear everything out. Your answer should be 51,222. And then the balance would be 0. Okay, let's proceed to the next problem. The next problem is Glade Company. What's the question here? What total amount of interest revenue should be recognized over the lease term? Again, if this is the question, how should we approach this one? Compare your gross receivable and your net investment in your lease. Okay, and again, if you're not given with the cost, how do we get our net investment? By getting the present value of your lease payments. Do we have the cost class? Yes, which is the 3,234,000. And then what we do not have is our periodic payment. So how do we approach this one? Okay, what is important here is your understanding of 3234. If this is the cost, if this is the net investment, what else does the 3,234,000 represent? It represents the present value of your lease payments class. And how do you get your present value of your lease payments, especially if there are no other composition of your minimum lease payments class? Your periodic payment times the ordinary annuity, multiplied, in this case, it will be multiplied by the annuity due factor. And that should give you your 3,234,000. But this time, we do not know how much our lease payments is. We will have to work back. So instead of multiplying payment by 4.312, what do we do? Divide 3234 by 4.312. How much is 3,234,000 times 4.312 class? 750,000. And what is the 750,000? This would be our periodic payment for how many years? 5 years. So what do we do with the 750,000? We multiply it by the number of times we will receive it. How many times we'll receive 750,000? 5. So multiply 750,000 by 5. That will give you how much? 3,750,000. Why are we going through this class? So that we would know how much is our gross receivable. So 3,750,000 minus this time the net investment, which is 3,234,000. This will give you 3,750 minus 3,234,000 class. How much will that give you? 516,000. And this is the total amount of interest that we will earn throughout the lease term. Okay, what's the next question? What amount will be reported as interest revenue for the current year? Why do you think you are being asked this one, class? It's because it is expecting you to forget that the payment arrangement is in advance. What did the problem want you to do? To simply multiply 3,234 by 8%. And we know that is wrong, class, because it is not the entire 3,234,000 that will earn interest during the year, because we will receive a payment that is solely applicable or chargeable to the principal. So what do we need? By the way, can you compute that, class? 3,234 times 8%. Is that the 258? 258,720. Okay, that would be the wrong answer because again, this is annuity due. So what do we need to do first? Deduct 750. So 3,234 minus 750, how much will that give you? 2,484,000. And what do we do? What does this amount represent? This is the balance that will earn interest during the year. So is it 2,484? So 2,484,000 times 8% will give you how much? And that will already be our answer. Let's proceed to Cassandra, class. The entity acquired the specialized packaging machine for 3 million cash. What's wrong? Someone is named Cassandra. Cassandra Company. The entity acquired the specialized packaging machine for 3 million. So basically, this is what's happening in direct financing, class. You're buying it for someone else because you are going to lease it to them. Okay? So that's why it's called direct financing. You're financing, basically, you're financing the purchase of somebody else, but you're just cloaking it as a lease. In sales type, class, normally you will hold the leased asset as inventory. Okay? The entity acquired a specialized packaging machine for 3 million cash and leased it for a period of 6 years. By the way, what's the question? What amount should be reported as annual lease rental? So basically, we need to do what we did first in the previous problem. The cost here is the 3 million. And what will this 3 million represent, class? This will represent our net investment. And what does that mean? These should be the present value of your lease payments. Now, what will be our lease payments? Take note that we have a residual value, class. Okay, so your receivable should include your residual value. So basically, the 3 million would be the present value of the periodic payments plus the present value of the 200,000. So if you want to determine your annual lease payment, you will have to use you will have to determine that by using the 3 million. But be careful. You will have to remove from the 3 million the present value of the 200,000 first. Okay? And how you do that? You get the present value of your 200,000. What factor are you going to use for the present value of your 200,000? The lump sum factor of 0.51. How much is 200,000 times 51? That's 102,000. Okay, you deduct that from 3 million. How much will that give you? 2,898,000. What does that amount represent? That will now represent the present value of your periodic payments. Okay, so the present value of your periodic payments would be 2,898,000. But since we do not know our periodic payments, we work back. You divide 2,898,000 by the annuity due factor of 4.6. How much is 2,898,000 divided by 4.6? 630,000. By the way, what if you forgot to deduct the 200,000 present value class? What if you immediately divided by 3 million by 4.6? How much will that give you? Is it in the choices? Which one? The 652 or the 732? 652. Okay, but again, your net investment is the present value of all your lease payments, including the residual value or the BPO if ever present. So again, what will be the answer here? It will be 630,000. Okay, what if you're asked how much is the interest income for the first year class? What do you do? Just multiply the 3 million by 12%. That will give you how much? 360,000. That will be your interest. Sorry. This is annuity. This is annuity due. When did the lease happen, class? Did the problem state that? No. Assuming it was on January 1 class and this is annuity due, how do we compute for the interest? 3 million minus 630, that will give you 2,370,000. 2,370,000 times the implicit interest rate of 12%, that will give you 284,000. Okay, so note to self, maybe I'll ask additional questions on this one for our exam. Then, how much do you think would be the lease receivable balance, class? 630 minus, how much was the interest? Compute now for the net lease receivable after the first year. Initial balance is 3 million. And then we have computed the periodic interest to be 630,000. This one would be 12%. How much would it be, class? Do you have 2,024,400? We have different amounts. What do you have? Okay, you have 2,024,400. Okay, and then how many years is this? 6 years. The bonus points to the one will be able to give the answer. What would be the net lease receivable at the end of year 4? Year 3 lang class. Even up to year 3. How much will be the balance at the end of year 3? Is that for year 3? I think that's just for year 2. It would be 1,203,807. Okay, what's your name? You were late. You were late. Okay, let's continue with Magnum Company. What's the question here? What amount should be reported as annual lease payment? So what are given? First is the cost of the asset of 5,239,000. What would be our understanding of this amount? This would serve as the present value of your lease payments. And then you have 5 annual lease payments which are due in advance. The lessee guaranteed 2 million residual value of the asset at the end of the 5-year lease term. So meaning the 5,239,000 is the present value of our lease term, including the guaranteed residual value. Okay, so what do we do? Do we simply divide 5,239,000 by 4.31? No, you remove first the present value of your 2 million. But what if you did that, class? 5,239 divided by 4.31. How much is that? 5,239 divided by 4.31. Not in the choices. The 1,215,000. Again, we know better. We will have to remove the present value of your. Because what if you did not get the present value of the 2 million? You deducted it at absolute amount. 5,239 minus 2 million, you have 3,239. Please divide 3,239 by 4.31 now. 3,239 divided by 4.31. Is it in the choices also? No? How much is it? 3,239 divided by 4.31. But again, we know better. We will get the present value of the 2 million. How much is the present value of 2 million that is included in the 5,239? 2 million times 0.68, which would be 1,360,000. You remove that from 5,239. How much is 5,239 minus 1,360? 300 million. 3,879. Okay, so what does this amount represent? What does 3,879 represent? It represents the present value of your periodic payment. So what do we do now? We divide 3,879 by, we divide it by 4.31. And will that give you letter B? Sorry, letter C. So how do we get letter B? Does that matter? The answer here would be 900,000. Okay, and if you'll be asked how much will be the interest income for this company, class, will it be 5,239 times 8%? No, because again, this is annuity due. Okay, so what do you do first? You deduct the entire first payment of 5,239. You will have 5,239 minus 900 will give you 4,339. Now, it is now this 4339 that will earn interest on the first year. How much is 4339 times 8% plus? 4339 times 8%. Interest income would be 347, 120. So, for an anyone, how much would be the balance of the receivable on January 1 of the third year? Again, how much would be the balance on January 1 of the third year? $3,000,010. Wait, sir. This is January 1, year 1. January 1, year 2. Okay, that's correct. The balance on January 1, year 3 would be 3,189,010. What's your name? Russell. Okay, let's proceed to the next problem. Irene Company. Irene Company acquired a specialized machine, after which title the machine is transferred to the lessee. The 6 annual lease payments are due in advance. The residual value is 200,000. And then the lease terms are arranged so that a return of 12%. What amount should be reported as annual lease rental payable in advance? Okay. So there's one thing, class, that you might get wrong here. The present value is 2,300,000. Okay. What have we been doing the previous problem, class? We have removed the present value of the residual value. In this case, do you think the 2,300,000 includes the present value of the residual value, class? The answer is no, because the residual value will not be part of our receivables. Why do we say that the residual value will not be part of our receivable? Because the problem tells us that the machine, the title to the machine will be transferred to the lessee. By the end of the lease term, will you be getting it back? No. Okay, so your cash flow should not form, your residual value should not form part of your cash flow. So basically, the 2,300,000 here represents only the present value of your periodic payments. So here, very straightforward. You will have 2,300,000 divided by, what factor are we going to use? 4.6. And that will give you how much? 500,000. Okay, do you get the difference, class? Why did we think that the net investment includes the residual value in the previous problems? Because we are getting back the asset. Part of our receivable would be the receipt of the asset back. But if you're not getting back the asset, then your receivable should not form part. Your receivable should not include your residual value. Let's proceed to sales type, class. Let's start with problem 14-13, Ultra Company. So what's the first question? What amount should be recognized as annual rental payment? Okay, so we would, if this is the question, class, what do we normally expect? We expect that the fair value or the cost of the asset, sorry, if it's sales type, we will now be referring to the net investment as the fair value. Okay, so basically the present value of your lease payments would be represented by the fair value of the asset or the sales price of the asset. So if you're asked for annual rental, that means we expect the sales price or the fair value of the asset to be given. This is if it's a sales type. If it's direct financing, class, and you're asked for annual rental, what do we expect to be given? We expect to be given the present value of the lease payments also, or the cost of the asset. Okay, I think this is where students get confused. Okay, both topics will generally ask for annual rental, class, but in direct financing, the cost would be the present value of your annual rentals. But in sales type, the cost will not be the present value of your lease payments, class. Okay, just take note of the difference. But what is the same for both type is that your net investment would be the present value of your lease payments. It's just that the net investment in direct financing is the cost of the asset or the present value, while in sales type, the net investment would be the sales price or the fair value. The cost in sales type is given for you to determine the gross profit. Okay, so because they have different treatment on the net investment, class, we have different definition for net investment. Even if you have the same problem, class, you may have different implicit interest rate. I remember a problem before, class. It states the implicit interest rate if it's direct financing is this much. The implicit interest rate if it is a sales type is this much. And the one that will have a greater implicit interest rate would be higher interest rate, lower, would be direct financing. Direct financing would have a higher implicit interest rate. Okay, so again, the problem can have the same given, class, but they will have different implicit rate depending on whether or not you treat it as a direct financing or sales type. Okay, but I do not see that here. I forgot also where I encountered that problem. I hope you get the difference. The question here is how much is the annual rental payment? If this was direct financing, we would have already assumed that the cost would be the present value of our rental payments, and we will be using the cost to get the annual rental payment. But here, your net investment or the present value of your rental payments is not represented by the cost, but by your fair value of the equipment. Okay, so you will be using 1,273,800 instead of 800,000. Do you get my point, class? Can we answer gross income first? How much would be the gross income? Again, your gross income would simply be in sales type would be the difference between your sales price and your cost class. Okay, the sales or the fair value minus the cost. So what would be your answer here to solve for the gross income or the gross profit? 1,273,800 minus 800,000. How much is 1,273,800 minus 800 plus? 473,800. Okay. Let's go back to the first question. What do we do with the 1,273,800 class? This would include the present value of your 80,000. How much is the present value of the 80,000 class? 80,000 times 0.51. How much is that? 4,800. 40,800. What do you do with this 40,800? You deduct that from 1,273,800. How much is 1,273,800 minus 4,800? That would be 1,233,000. 1,233,000. And what does the 1,233,000 represent? It represents the present value of your annual lease payment. So what do we do if you already have the 1,233,000? Divide it by your annuity factor. And what annuity factor do we have? 4.11. How much is 1,233 divided by 4.11? 300,000. Okay. And that will be our answer. Okay. If you've forgotten to deduct the present value of the 80 class, I'm making a guess that your answer would have been 309,927. How much is 1,273,800 divided by 4.11? Is it the 309,927? Again, our answer would be 300,000. Now, to answer the second question, what do we need to do? We'll have to determine all our receivables. And what will be our receivable? The 300,000, which we'll receive every year for how many years? 6 years. That will give you 1,800,000. But do not forget to include the BPO. Because if the BPO will be exercised, we will also receive the 80,000. So 1,800,000 plus 80,000, that will give you how much? 1,880,000. Then that would be our gross receivable. Do you follow, class? Then deduct the present value, okay, which is your 1,273,800. 1,880,000 minus 1,273,800 will give you how much? 606,200. And that would be our initial total financial revenue, or our initial unearned interest income or revenue. Number 4, what should be reported as interest income for the current year? So what do you do? Multiply the present value, or in this case, the fair value of the equipment of 1,273,800 by 12%. How much is 12% of 1,273,800? Is it 152,856? 152,856. And that will already be our answer, assuming this is for one whole year. Yes. Just be careful if you're asked for interest income, class. Maybe it's not for one whole year, class. Maybe it started on April or June or July. Then that means your interest income for that year will not be for 12 months. So be careful, please. Now for bonus points, how much will be the balance of the net lease receivable at the end of the third year? This is just ordinary annuity. It would be a tragedy, class, if the problem is ordinary annuity and you treated it as a annuity due. Anyone? What's the answer? That's still for year 2. Yeah, 777,200. What I have here is just 277. 777,277. What's your Avila? No, I asked for your name, but I remember. Another question for this problem. How much will be the interest income on year 6, the last year? Sige, to help you there, we'll give points to someone who can give the balance of the receivable on year 5, end of year 5. What's your name? It's 339,017. Akas. Next question is interest income for year 6. No. 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 Wait. What was the answer in number 2, class? Was it 606, 200? Okay. How much? No, that's the interest income. Question is interest income. 40,983. Because what did I warn you? If it's the last year, make sure to fully remove your unearned interest income. If you just multiply the previous balance of 339,017 by how much is the rate here? 12%, you would have gotten 40,682. But if you do that, you will not be able to fully eliminate the balance, class. So the interest income would be 40,983. The amount solved by your classmate earlier of the 79,000 something, class, is if you only recognize 4682. Because what will happen after the 40,983? There will be balance of 80,000. Why will there be a balance of 80,000? Because this is the amount that you will recognize once you receive the payment of the bargain purchase option. Okay, so it's 40,983. What's your name? Were you late? Let's proceed to the next problem. Riza Company. So basically what you have to do here, class, you will have to confirm whether the two statements are correct or not. And this has been the trend now, class, in the board exams, wherein what is being asked is not just one single item, but you'll have to determine uh, whether the statements are correct or not. And the statements are not merely theoretical questions, but computational questions, class. For the record, class, even before Valix made these kind of questions, and I handled the review before, my questions were already, which of the following statements is true, but all choices will have to be computed. So I'm saying, I'm the one who started this. But of course, Valix is the one who maybe popularized this one. So we'll have to check if the gross income is indeed 3,660,000 and what you need to compare to get your gross income. Sales price, which would be the present value of your lease payments or the fair value if given, compared with the cost. Are we given with the cost? The entity completed the construction. Original cost of the machinery is 9 million. So that would be the cost. Next would be the total receivables. The present value. But what information is being given, class? The ownership of the machinery will transfer to the lessee. So do you think the estimated residual value will be relevant in this problem, class? No, because we will not be getting this residual value because ownership will transfer to the lessee. So what do we do with the 1 million? Ignore. Okay, so in this case, you just multiply 2 million by 6.33 annuity due because payments are at the beginning of each year. How much is 2 million times 6,333? See, 12,660,000. 12,660,000. That will serve as our net investment or our sales price. So 12,633,000 minus 900,000. Sorry, 12,660,000 minus 900,000 will give you 3 million. Sorry, minus 9 million will give you. Is it the 3,660,000? Yes, but even if you have solved that, class, you cannot be sure of your answer yet because you know that statement 1 is true, but what if statement 2 is also true? That's the problem here. Okay, we need to check statement 2. The interest income is 1,519,200. If I am to guess, what did the problem do here? Maybe it assumed that you forgot to deduct the payment first. How much is 12,660 times 12%, class? 1,519,000. So that means this is incorrect because what's the correct way of computing for interest income in this problem? You deduct first the first payment. So 12,660,000 minus 2 million will give you 10,660,000. And then 10,660,000 times 12% will give you how much? 1,279,200. So that means what's the best answer here? Only statement 1 is true. Yes, but what if you're asked how much will be the total financial revenue in this transaction? What do you compare? The total receivables and the present value. We already have the present value, class, correct? It was the 12,660,000. And then, how much is our periodic payment? 2 million. 2 million times, how many times are we going to receive the 2 million? 10. So 2 million times 10, that will give you 20 million. So 20 million minus 12,660 will give you how much? 7,340,000. So if you are asking this problem, how much is the initial and earned interest income? Our answer would be 7,340,000. No additional questions. Proceed to Oriental Company. On April 1, 2024, Oriental leased equipment to another entity. The lease was appropriately recorded as a sales type for an 8-year period with an implicit interest rate of 10%. The first of 8 equal payments is 700,000 was made on April 1, 2024. What are the things we have to determine, class? First, the gross income. What do we need to compare for the gross income? The cost and the sales or the present value of the lease payments. Do we have the cost? Yes, our cost is 3,700,000. So we just need the sales price. Is the fair value given? No. So what do we need to do? We need to get the present value of our lease payments. Are the lease payments given? Yes, 700,000. Do we have other possible items for lease payments? No. We do not have any residual value. So you get the present value of the 700,000, class. And since there's only one factor given there, is this annuity due? What is the problem saying? It was made on April 1, 2024. So this is annuity due. So that means you can use the 5.868. So 5.868 times 3 million, sorry, times 700,000. How much will that give you? 4,107,600. Okay, so that will be the amount that will be compared to your cost. How much is the cost, class? 3,700,000. How much is 4,107,600 minus 3,700,000? 407,600. That means number one, statement one is true. So our possible answers here would be A or C. Okay. So let's proceed to number two, the interest income in 2024. What do we do? Again, make sure class nga you remember that it is annuity due. So what do we need to do first? 4,107,600 minus 700 will give you how much? 3,407,600, and that is the amount that will earn interest. Okay, and what do we do with the 3,407,600? Multiply it by 10%. So 3,407,600 times 10%, 340,760. That means statement 2 is correct, right? Right? No. Because it happened on April 1. While the interest you have computed is for 1 whole year. Okay, so that means what do? You compute for the proportionate amount. 340,760 times. How many months are there if it started April 1? 9 months. Include April because it is at the start of April. So 340,760 times 9 over 12 will give you, is it 255,570? It will be 255,570. And then interest income for year 2. What would you have done? You would have simply multiplied 3,048,360. Plus, if you prepare the amortization schedule, class, for the first 12-month period, how much would be the interest income? It is the 340,760 But understand that this is for a 12-year period. So this is from April 1, 2024 to March 31, 2025. Okay? If you continue with your amortization schedule, your interest income for the second year would be 304,000 plus continue the amortization schedule. 304,836. But what do you have to understand? This is the interest earned from April 1, 2025 to March 31, 2026. Okay? So in determining whether the second statement is true, class, you should only determine the amount of interest from April 1, 2024 to December 31, 2024. And that's why we multiplied 3,407.60 by 9 months over 12. In determining whether statement 3 is correct, class, you should not say that it's 304,836 because that's not the interest income for the entire year of 2025. What is your interest income for 2025, class? Portion of this and portion of this. What portion of the 340,760, class? The portion earned from January 1 to March 31. So what do? Multiply this by 3 over 12. 3 months lang. And what are these 3 months? January 1 to March 31, 2025. For the rest of 2025, where do you get the interest? It is from the 304,836. Okay, but is it the entire 304,836? No, because this includes interest that is earned only in 2026. What portion of 304,836 is earned in 2025? The interest earned from April 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025. And to get the amount, you will multiply 304,836 by 9 months over 12. So how much is 340,760 times 3 over 12, class? 85,190. And then how much is 304,836 times 9 over 12? 228,627. And to answer the income for 2025, class, you will add the 85,190 with the 228,627. How much will this give us? 313,817. That means statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. Okay, so the answer here is that only statement 1 is true. Let's proceed to problem 14-16. This is Mariana's. What's the first question? Sorry, was anyone able to answer that I have not asked their name? Wala ra? First statement. Gross income on sale. What do we need to compare gross income on sale? The cost and the present value, or sometimes it's given as the sales price or the fair value. What do we have here? The first thing I see is the cost. The cost is how much? 8,500,000. Next is with the estimated residual value of 1,600,000. At the end of the lease term, the ownership of the cargo vessel shall transfer to Jade Company. So will the residual value be relevant here, class? No. Okay, so what else do we need? Do we have our lease payments? How much is our lease payments, class? Given in the earlier paragraph. Annual rental is 2,500,000. Okay, again, no residual value. So 2,500,000 times, how many times are we going to receive 2,500,000, class? 10 years. What are we trying to solve? Gross income. So we need to get the present value first, correct? Okay, so Get the present value of this 10, 2,500,000 class. 2,500,000 times, we're given with an annuity due factor, ordinary annuity, ordinary annuity due. Of 5.65. Multiply that with 2,500,000. 2,500,000 times 5.65. How much would that give you? 14,125,000. And then it's given, class. Okay, 14,125,000. And then what do we need to remember, class? In sales type, what if you're given with initial direct cost? The initial direct cost will form part of your cost of goods sold. Okay, so you add that to the cost, class. How much was the cost? For 8,500,000. You add the 500, you would get 9 million. Okay, so you will now deduct 9 million from the, how much was it? 14,125,000. Okay, so 14,125,000 minus 9 million will give you how much? 125. So that means statement 1 is true. Yes? Yes. Next, total financial revenue. What do we need to compare? The present value or the net investment or the sales price of 5,125, and then deduct that from your total receivable. What are your receivables here? 2,500,000 times 10, 25 million. Did you say 14? That's correct. So 25 million. 25 million minus 14,125. How much will that be, class? How much? 10,875. So statement 2 is also true. Okay, so 10,875,000. Next, interest income should be reported at 1,695,000. Let's see. When's the first payment? At the end of each year. So it is the entire 14,125,000 that will earn interest. So what do we do? Multiply 14,125,000 by, oh no, I'm 1% na lang. 14,125,000 times 12% will give you 1,600,000. So this is also true. Because I'm just relying on you because you're the one computing, class. 14,125 times 12%. Is that 1,695,000? Yes. The carrying amount of the lease receivable should be reported at 22,500,000. Would this be true? Carrying amount, no. It should be the net lease receivable. So it should be 14,125 times 12%, 1,695. Deduct that from 2,500,000. That will give you 805,000, class. 805,000 deducted from 5,100,000. Sorry, deducted from 14,125,000 will give you how much? How much? 13,320. 320,000. So that means statement 4 is wrong. So the answer here is only statements 1, 2, and 3 are true. 0%. We'll end here.